So I was in the Zoom Bachelor, which led to a couple things. One, it led to me being in this music video with Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. The investor community at the time and other stuff led us to getting acquired by Groupon.
What are some of your inspirations?
Yeah, it could be a really long journey. Every time I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's done a good job.
Welcome to Software Slices. We're your hosts, Narration and Aman. This is a show where every week we bring on a unique guest and build an even more unique piece of software with them. Today, we are joined by Sheel Mohnot, general partner and co-founder of Better Tomorrow Ventures, widely considered one of the most interesting VCs on tech Twitter, who always finds his way into interesting stories and even more interesting investments. So, Sheel, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for coming. So we spent some time chatting before the show, jamming on a couple of ideas. Today, we're actually going to be digging into an idea that you shared. You tweeted a couple days ago about something cool, like an immersive podcast experience, basically.
Yeah.
We'd love to start off just hearing a bit more about the idea, what kind of first inspired it for you.
Yeah, so there was this app called Detour, and it was started by Andrew Mason, the founder of Groupon, as his next act. I think it was probably around 2014 is my remembrance from the time. And it was basically an immersive podcast, kind of, but around you. So think about like a really cool narration with amazing story, but based on where you are. So it would tell you like, turn left on Avenue B. Now you'll see this bodega on your left. Go inside the bodega, and here on the right side, you'll notice XYZ. And it felt so cool to have that in your ears as you walk around and learn about a place, that, you know, I love it and miss it. And I think the company was around for a few years. I think it was tough to make money with that product. So I think ultimately the product that they had built to build those tours was called Descript, and that became an independent product that's now an audio and video editing tool.
Awesome. Yeah, so I mean, I personally love the idea. I think maps in general are just like underutilized.
Totally.
And now we have LLMs which have all this information about places and stories around the city. So yeah, Horatio and I spent some time cooking up some prototypes, and what we're going to do is we're going to show them to you and get your like initial raw reactions, and then we can pick one and like riff on it. And the goal is by the end of the episode to have something that we like, and we can also maybe test out on our walks home something that might actually work.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. So let's dive in. So we took 30 minutes each on kind of each of these Frankenstein-like prototypes, just starting with the original idea you just mentioned. So each one of these has a little bit of both, or a little bit of a benefit across each one. So this one has a feed, sort of like pre-made stories. Yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit more. So if you see here, you can see a tour that's preset. Aman queued this one up where we have Lin-Manuel Miranda kind of giving you his perspective on a New York City tour. Then we have this version here where it's a little more subtle. The design is not as good. But if I actually type in, a start destination, let's say we start at Katz's Deli. Yeah. And then maybe we pick another favorite restaurant around the area.
Maybe we could go to Scar's Pizza.
Scar's Pizza. Okay, perfect. So if I pull this in,
pretty close.
This one is going to actually map out the queue with some UI inconsistencies, but it'll map out a path. It basically starts at the starting point and will actually implement, an algorithm that will map out some...
I'll tell you a path to go and map out stuff along the way.
Yeah, it calls out things along the way.
Exactly.
Cool.
So, general line, but if you actually follow the tour, it'll take you to the more interesting path down to your destination.
That's cool. And will it do audio?
Then that's where the third one. So this is kind of like a
we got like all the pieces kind of working in different projects.
Yeah.
We're going to try to bring them together.
Exactly. So I know part of the app was that it's a live feed. So as you walk, it updates. Yeah. Obviously, since we're sitting here for the next hour-ish, we can't test that out. Yeah. But this is sort of that last feature where it's the audio portion. It'll take a snapshot of exactly where you're at. So hopefully this isn't TMI, but this is where we're located. And if
we're doxing ourselves right now.
Can blur it out.
And we have a few narrators that you can choose from.
Cool.
I did, take some inspiration from voices. I used 11 Labs to mix them up. So you can assume where each of these voices are.
Cool. I like it.
We're going to choose the British AI as the narrator.
All right.
And since we're in Alphabet City, East Village area, it'll probably, when I hit play, it's just going to take a snapshot of that current location, probably get some history, research some history online through AI, and then send that transcript to the 11 Labs voice. And in a second here, it'll start playing, or in a minute. Haven't tested it on this internet. So maybe we can get some of that audio playing here, but...
Yeah, while it's loading up, I can just quickly say, for the first one that Horatio showed...
Welcome, dear Walker, to the storied heart of New York City's East Village, Tompkins Square Park. As we step into this lush 10.5-acre haven, imagine the layers of history that have unfurled here, almost like turning the pages of a well-loved book. To our left, the sprawling green lawns might seem serene today, but in 1988, they were the epicenter of a significant chapter in
I don't want to keep it going because it's probably going to go on for quite a bit.
That's awesome. I mean,
It was pretty good, actually.
yeah, East Village has a pretty rich history as well. Like Tompkins Park,
Yeah.
obviously, it's like like you were saying, very clean and exciting now. But back in the day, it wasn't as.
I wanted to keep going. That was entertaining.
Keep 'em going.
No, we don't have to. But I'm saying
Yeah,
it was
like,
interesting.
It's interesting.
But yeah, so we kind of have like a mix of both. Let me hopefully pause it so he doesn't keep going. But yeah, I'll stop there. What are your initial feel on each of these?
I feel like there were great qualities about each of them.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, are we able to combine some elements of both? Or
Yeah,
all three?
maybe we can like pick one of them and kind of continue to riff off of there. But yeah, if they're like, what'd you like? I guess just across all of them.
The second one I liked because it's just like where you're starting and where you're going.
Yeah.
And so if you're just on a walk on an everyday basis, you can use it, and maybe it can take you. Maybe you can have it such that it might give you a detour to something interesting along the way, or slightly out of the way, I should say. I like that one, but I like the voice. I think one of the nice things about the idea is you're enjoying the city, so your phone can be in your pocket while you listen to what's going on, and I like that.
Awesome. Yeah, so maybe we stick with the voice.
Stick with the voice.
Or add the voice into this one. I think
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can add the voice into that one, I think that'd be really cool.
Okay. Yeah. I think that'll be the goal for the end of the session. We can kind of take version 3, the voice, and then merge it into the map.
Cool.
We'll start with that.
So the first thing I have to do is like, let me prompt it so that we can set it on its the first run. So I think this part I can grab. I'm going to first say, grab me all the files that are related to generating the voice in terms of 11 Labs AI. And then this little tool called Whisperflow that I like to use just to make prompting a lot easier. Big lifesaver.
Yep.
And this will basically feed out or bring out all the features that are related to the voice, and then we'll copy and paste it over into the other one and then let it go. I'm going to close this one out to save some Google Chrome. And I think that might also be the pizza that just
I'm excited that Software Slices now finally has slices.
Yeah, we needed the slices. That was like
Yeah.
the main missing component. So
Yeah.
excited to get that going. I
Sure.
love the pizza.
So just a quick recap, we got Scar's Pizza. So for Software Slices, we're finally bringing in the slices. And in the meantime, I went ahead and grabbed the 11 Labs API key for the interface that we're going to be using. So I'm just going to kind of give it probably the create speech documentation. So this is like their API docs for how to take text to speech. So for this interface, it seems to have grabbed like details on all these locations. So all those landmarks that it mapped out, it kind of even had a story.
Yeah.
I think this is enough context for it to just feed in and say like, hey, finish the script, and then feed that script into the voice, and we'll go from there. So
I like it.
say, all right, so good job. Right now we have the elements of the mapped out story. I want to actually create their narration aspect using 11 Labs speech to text. So go ahead, and once we have mapped out the route, I want you to create a walking tour guide transcript in the same order that we have the route placed. That'll be enough for it to go. Let's go grab it. Oh man. All right. So I just had to grab that voice. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this again. So I can grab these docs, paste in the URL, grab the text content, And that should cue it up. We'll see where it gets.
Great.
Sweet. All right, so we'll let it build. It'll go off and build for a couple minutes, and while it's building, we'd love to like dig into some of these New York stories, how it's been so far. We actually both knew that you were in New York and confirmed it when we saw your Apollo Bagels review. You're doing this mini bagel review food series, so curious, like any hot takes on New York City food so far?
The breadth of food you get is so good.
Yeah.
And there's so much competition. So for a restaurant to succeed, they have to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming from San Francisco, and I think the food scene there is also very good. And it's just different. I think here there's more creativity in different types of food. I think, and it's just a bigger city, so you're naturally going to have that. But I do think I miss the produce of California. It's hard to beat the freshness that you get there. But I've really enjoyed eating here. And I mean, bagels, pizza. I will say I've actually gained a decent amount of weight since I've been here. And it's because like it's so easy to just grab a slice like on your way home. If you didn't need one, you're like, oh, I want to try this place. Like, let me just grab a slice.
That definitely hit me my first few months here. It's just way too easy. Late night, everything's still open. It's like, oh man, I guess I'll eat some more. What's next on the bagel list? What's on the hit list?
Pop-up bagels. So we did Apollo bagels first.
I think Black Seed.
Black Seed next, and then pop-up, and then I think my favorite is going to be Brooklyn bagels. Like that I like Brooklyn bagels. Have you guys had that one?
I actually haven't had Brooklyn bagels, but I've heard great things.
Yeah,
Russ and Daughters. Have you had Russ and Daughters?
Yeah, I think Russ and Daughters is good, but I think probably more famous for toppings than it is for the actual bagels.
That's fair. Our office is actually on top of like the Russ and Daughters like factory in Brooklyn.
Oh, cool.
Where they like mass produce a bunch of the bagels. And
can you like smell them?
You can, like when you're walking in the morning.
Nice
and fresh. So
that's cool.
Awesome.
How's it doing?
It says it's all done. It said it actually took and built the narration capability beforehand. So I don't know. I think
is it gaslighting
it might be gaslighting us. We're gonna give it a try though. Hang on. So let's create a route for it. Let's do the same route or starting point.
This is great. I just got to eat and watch you work.
But we got Katz's Deli. Let's give it a new destination. Maybe Ruby Rosa Pizza.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Alrighty.
Is there a limit on number of stops, or how is it deciding? Do we know?
I think it tries to find a stop every 200 meters. So if we do like a far destination, like up to Central Park, it could get us a few dozen, I think. Yeah, the only thing that's annoying is it first places the straightest route there, but the actual, scenic route with all the destinations it gives us is right there. So we have this narration tab. Okay. I think I have to click this button. Can definitely improve that UI.
Yeah, it should just be there.
Yeah. Give it a second/minute. Oh, okay. Oh, so it gives us the actual narration script.
Play button.
Play the audio. One thing I also worry about is all these AI credit limits. I wonder how some of these accounts I'm on a trial and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to hit like the limit. I think I upgraded 11 labs though.
Credit card halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could like, if you were actually using this, you could maybe generate it in advance and then go for your walk. While we're testing, it could be like, I'm starting here, so it can preload something. Have either of you
Welcome, dear traveler, to Alphabet City, a vibrant and eclectic enclave nestled within the pulsating heart of New York City. This neighborhood, with its storied past and dynamic present, offers a kaleidoscope of cultural experiences and historical richness. Today, we shall embark on an enchanting journey through time, culture, and gastronomy, visiting some of the area's most cherished establishments. As we begin our promenade, we find ourselves at the venerable Russ and Daughters, a testament to the enduring spirit of the immigrant experience in America. Established over a century ago in 1914, this Jewish appetizing shop has become an indelible fixture of the Lower East Side. Here, the air is infused with the tantalizing aromas of high-quality smoked fish, an array of caviar, and other traditional Jewish delicacies. This family-run establishment, now in its fourth generation, has gracefully adapted to the ebbs and flows of time, yet it remains a bastion of culinary tradition. As you stand here, you are not merely at a shop, You are at a living museum where each bite tells a story of perseverance and cultural heritage.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's,
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's kind of like what I would want.
Yeah. And let me see, maybe again, if it's not gaslighting us on what else it had queued up. I saw it had like Soho Suites. So, okay, sweet.
But okay. So that we could probably prompt better. Like, I don't know if I care about Soho Suites.
What types of landmarks would you prefer?
I think like the most interesting ones.
Yeah.
So it could be a hotel if that hotel had something interesting. I don't know Soho Suites, but I somehow doubt it does. But I think, Lombardi's I think is a good one. Like taking us through the food is probably more interesting. I guess it would be nice to also let the user decide what kind of things they are interested in.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest parts is having like a themed tour. So you could have like a food tour, you could have like a music tour, you could have like an art history tour, and like depending on what you're into, or like a mix of everything.
Yeah. Or like a business history tour.
Yeah, business history. Also being able to pull, I actually did a test run before where I used like ChatGPT deep research.
Yeah.
So it went like much deeper into like random people's blog posts and like little stories, and could pull those out and even like read them from the perspective of those individuals. And I think that's really
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Awesome. So maybe we could queue up.
Yeah, should we let it do some like user customization or something like that?
Yeah, user customization on the types of places to map out. We'd say, okay, great. Everything in the workflow is working great. Let's just add the ability for users to customize the route. So add an option before to generate the route and landmarks to find. Allow the user to input whether they care about restaurants, general landmarks, or shopping. Start with those three.
Yeah.
Any other categories?
Maybe just like show me what's interesting.
Cool. And then the last option, anything, show me what's interesting. There we go. Cool. And while Whisperflow now is taking a while, there we go. Cool. Show me what's interesting. Great. I mean, it's a little unformatted, but
It's fine.
we'll leave it as is.
It'll figure it
It'll
out.
figure
Yeah,
it
it'll
out.
fit.
There you go. Awesome. So while that's rolling, we were on the topic of food, and we also mentioned right before recording that you spent some time in Chicago. We've got pizza.
Yeah.
Chicago's also famous for iconic pizza
Yeah.
in a different format. So I'm curious, going back, take us back to when you were starting FeeFighters.
Yeah.
And leading up to when you sold it to Groupon, which is, probably I think one of the largest Chicago by market cap at the time.
At the time, for sure. Yeah.
That came out of the Chicago ecosystem. So, yeah. Do you mind taking us back to founding the company and selling it to Groupon?
Sure. So, FeeFighters. So, I moved to Chicago because I was working at BCG, the consulting firm, and a buddy of mine, Sean from BCG, left to start this company. And the backstory he had was a similar one I had. We both ran companies that charged credit cards. So he started a satellite radio company called TSS Radio. I started a headphone company, and we both sold products online. And we realized we'd gotten ripped off on our credit card processing. And so the idea was, let's save people money on their credit card processing by having the processors bid down for their business. And this is in a pre-Stripe world. Like now everyone kind of just uses Stripe or maybe Braintree to get started. At that time, you didn't have that option. So we built this marketplace where the processors could bid down for their business. And then we thought we would build marketplaces in other verticals. So we thought we would do like payroll, insurance, and all this other stuff. But then we got really into payments. And so then we went one step further from the marketplace and actually inserted ourselves into the marketplace and built a product that's actually very similar to Stripe. It was called Samurai. It was a merchant processor plus payment gateway in one. So moving the data and the money at once. And that product, we launched a similar time to Stripe. But we were in Chicago, I think in part the investor community at the time and other stuff led us to getting acquired by Groupon. It was an okay acquisition. We saw the craziness of Groupon, as people in Chicago and even internet observers of a certain age will remember. Groupon was like the fastest growing company of all time at that point. They had gotten to a $20 billion market cap. So it was considered a wildly successful company. And then we got there and we were building out this new function for them. So Groupon was is a website where you can like get a coupon for a local establishment. They wanted to build out more products for merchants. So we sort of spearheaded that merchant products business and ended up acquiring other businesses alongside us. So we had like a point of sale system similar to Toast and a few other businesses. And it was really remarkable, the talent that we had in our small group building for merchant services. Actually, like founders of Boom, the supersonic jet company, Linear, founder of Kin, the homeowners insurance company, like all these like
Groupon Mafia.
Yeah, Groupon Mafia. Just it was incredible, like a great group of people. But none of us stayed all that long. But I loved my time in Chicago. It was an awesome place to live, and love the summers. I guess, as like a lot of people do.
Yeah. For sure.
The winters were rough.
City, yeah.
And actually, for a while, I moved to San Francisco in 2012. But actually, I tried to keep my Chicago place for a little while, and I was like, I can come back in the summertime and go back in the winter to San Francisco. But that only lasted for one summer, and then I just moved to San Francisco.
Yeah, you mentioned like the difference in like the investor community and probably the talent as well. I'm curious, like, how has your perspective changed or stayed the same around where you are when you're building the thing that you're building? Like, does it matter? I know during COVID, a lot of people kind of went remote first, remote friendly. Now they're kind of going back on that. Like, what's your take as of today?
Yeah, I would say so our most successful companies, all of them are in person.
Yeah.
Almost every day of the week. So I think companies can definitely be successful remote. It's just a lot harder, especially when you're getting started. Sure. And then I think geographically, so if you are co-locating, then the importance of being somewhere where everyone else is important. And so I think in America, that's pretty much New York and San Francisco. For our business, I invest in fintech companies. We actually have more companies in New York than we do in San Francisco by a pretty good measure. And I think fintech, maybe up until 5 years ago, was really still mostly in San Francisco. But now New York has taken the lead and is doing quite well in fintech. I think in general, New York has really come out pretty strong. Like, it wasn't really in the conversation as much a decade ago, but now so many great companies are being built here. So I think you're going to see a lot of success in New York in the future. But yeah, like I said, New York's the number one city that we've invested in.
Amazing.
So this is still cooking, but one question that came to mind is thinking about ecosystems. This is a chicken and the egg question, but what do you think is sort of the first tent pole that goes into the ground for making a city like the place?
Yeah.
Like, was it the first successful unicorn company? Was it the VC and angel investment community? What do you think comes first in terms of switching the tides of a city?
I think it starts with talent. I think talented people build companies, and especially today, you can build elsewhere. Like, people will fund you. At the time, the Groupon story is actually interesting. Like, they started Groupon in Chicago, and it attracted tons of money from all of the best investors in San Francisco, and they thought that like it really put Chicago on the map. Unfortunately, it didn't play out that way. Like, Chicago didn't continue on, and it didn't mint a bunch of talented people who continued in Chicago. Those people mostly moved to the coasts. But I think it started with a great idea and talent, and capital flowed in. I think it's hard to think about where the next ecosystem will be, but I think it'll be driven by talent. And I think part of what makes San Francisco really special is the universities. Like, it started with great universities, Stanford and Berkeley, but then also, so that started companies, and then people move there. I think New York, you have that too, because like the folks from Boston and like Carnegie Mellon, MIT, like those folks there are a bunch of them here, and so you're starting to have an ecosystem. I mean, not even starting, but like starting to really grow into its own.
Talent.
Nice.
Awesome. So checking in.
Yeah, how we
I
doing?
think we got something. It's really hard to see, but it's got little category icons.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why it made it so hard to view. Yeah, so it's got the little icons in there. Maybe let's see what happens again. New starting location.
Let's do the Met.
And going to
the UN building.
Let me say New York just to emphasize. Hopefully,
Yeah,
it
could be a really long
gonna
journey.
end
it'll
in,
chew
like,
up the credits.
Switzerland or something.
Exactly, or Brussels or something. Sweet. What category should we pick?
Show me what's interesting.
Perfect. Is it even selectable? I think it's selected it. Yeah, wow, that's a really bad color choice. We'll come back and
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we'll
yeah.
have
It's
to
got a
do, like,
slight dark.
round of UI polish after.
Absolutely.
Clean it up.
Create route. And let's see what they generate. Favorite pizza so far?
You know, so Scars I think is a great slice.
Yeah.
It's actually probably maybe my favorite slice, but the best pizza I've had, or my favorite pizza I've had in New York City, is this Indian pizza place called Onion Tree Pizza, and it's here in the East Village. And what I like about it is the pizza itself is exceptionally good. Mm-hmm. Like it's a Neapolitan, delicious pizza like you'd find in Italy. But then they've added Indian spices to it, and it just works really well in a way better than you would expect. There's a lot of Indian pizza in San Francisco. It actually originated there. It's kind of a fun story. It originated in the 80s when this guy, Tony, took over a restaurant. Like he took over a pizza restaurant, started making food for himself, and then customers wanted it on, and then he was like delivered it on the pizza. And that created this Indian pizza thing in the Bay Area that has gone elsewhere. But the kind here was totally different, and I think better actually.
Sweet.
It's amazing. I'm looking at the menu right now.
Masala margarita,
Like
so
a
good.
paneer pizza sounds fantastic. I feel like these fusion places, it's always hit or miss.
Totally
Like
hit or miss.
Sometimes they're like way off, and it's just like a kind of gimmicky thing. But if you're saying the pizza itself, like the base is good, then
It's so good.
I'll try it. Like
Yeah,
this
highly
week.
recommend.
Next episode we can order from here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's got the landmarks starting up at the Met, and
Nice.
it trails down. So like the order's there.
Yeah.
Again, it's the little path it decides on. It's just a little off.
So the line is off, but if you just follow the numbers, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yep. It'll
Or
take you
could-
down.
We could even make it that based on your GPS, it like highlights the one near you,
Oh.
and then like transitions into that.
Yeah,
that
that's a
could be
good
like
idea.
a future thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Okay, and then it gives you the time, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's how
about-
long the tour will be.
Yeah, I guess it pulls that in with because it starts with it probably just takes the starting and the end point, and it
Yeah.
just like
the
puts
walking
that in.
distance.
Yeah. Let's see it narrate. Oh man, lots of moments of waiting for this one.
Yeah.
It's a patient app. We'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, while it's loading, have you ever tried Rick Steves' audio tours?
I haven't.
Okay, so I used it in Europe the past few times I was there. Amazing, like city guided tours. It's kind of like what we're describing, but
Are they
it's
narrated by Rick Steves?
by Rick Steve. He's like a travel history
Yeah.
guy, and it's amazing. It's just you feel like you just go on your own path. You don't worry about being in a group. Like I like to kind of wander off once in a while and then come back onto the route.
And does
So
it have GPS tracking as well?
It doesn't. So he guides you, but it's not like as rich of an experience. So I'm just
Okay.
imagining like if we could get him to like work on this too,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that would be an amazing.
perfect.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's pre-recorded, but I mean he's just a great kind of journalist and storyteller.
Okay, so it looks like it's got one. Is it like one hallucination? It says "Welcome to Alphabet City," but then it says Upper East Side.
Okay.
So there it goes.
Maybe
Not
it's
as good
pulling
as-
in your current location or something.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
So we'd have to tell it to. Well, I guess you should be there if that's where you're starting your path.
We'll see.
I saw you did the walk around Manhattan.
Yeah.
How was that?
Great. So there was something called the Great Saunter,
Yeah.
which it was on Saturday. The weather was perfect for
Yeah.
it. So I walked around the perimeter of Manhattan, which is 32 miles, and then took some detours. So it ended
Welcome
up being
to Alphabet City.
all right.
Enclave
Here we
nestled
are.
Within the fabric of Manhattan's storied Upper East Side. As we meander through its charismatic streets, we shall uncover tales of culinary delight, architectural grandeur, and cultural significance. Prepare to be enchanted by the sophisticated charm and
Awesome. Oh, I hit pause and then I might have paused it. When you imagine this experience, obviously right now it's kind of using the voice that everyone's using on TikTok videos and AI generated videos. Is there a specific voice that comes to mind that you'd want heard? And maybe we can obfuscate it a little bit of who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of like who are iconic New Yorkers. Who comes to your guys' mind?
Depends on the type of tour.
Yeah, I was thinking it
like-
depends on the type of tour
Yeah.
too.
Like a hip hop tour by Jay-Z would be
Jay-Z,
that'd be sick.
yeah, that would be cool. Or if you're, I don't know, in the Bronx with J-Lo or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Cardi
Or,
B.
or Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of folks. Trying to think, like, are there any iconic New York chefs? I'm sure there are.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Out of that list of names,
Let's
I do
go.
also think and gravitate towards Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Did? Okay, let's do that.
So let's see if we can add more
Could
of
we
like
hook that
a...
up into this.
Yeah, we have a voice that sounds like a New York City playwright, so we can incorporate that and see. Obviously, this isn't being used for commercial reasons. These are personal apps that we're going to be using. So
And then maybe we could do he could come up with a Hamilton style, like, rap about
Yeah,
your journey or
your
something like
journey.
that.
like actually make it a beat in the song.
You
Oh,
could.
well, the deep research one was cool because he would reference back to Hamilton,
Oh.
parts of Hamilton, be
Cool.
like, "Oh, this is where I got inspiration for this scene," or something like that. Especially like, have you seen Hamilton?
Yeah.
I mean, just hearing it and seeing it, and then walking around the same streets is always
Yeah.
fascinating.
Super cool.
So that would be a
Alright.
cool one. If you could do like a history
All right.
lesson.
I'll
But yeah, we can
say-
start with the voice.
Actually, the tour I went on, or not the tour,
Yeah.
the walk I went on, started at Franz's Tavern. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not.
It's like I actually didn't know anything about it, but at the end we went through it. First of all, it's a huge place,
Yeah.
and then apparently it had a lot of historical significance in the 1700s. Like it's where George Washington gave his like farewell address at this tavern, and it's apparently been there ever since.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of those like gems that are just around, and you don't really notice them. You're
Yeah.
just walking around the city, busy in your day to day. You don't
Totally.
realize you're walking by this like historical landmark. A lot of things that tourists come to town to look at, and we just like walk by every day and don't even realize. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I did a test run, it actually did pick up like the financial district and was telling me all about like the nation's first capital and like everything, a bunch of history that I didn't realize is all like right here. Yeah, awesome. So we'll cue that up. All right.
I had one question while it's building this time. I guess on that theme of different cities and talent in different cities, I'm curious, like with AI tools, I feel like the cost of building and creating software goes down.
Yeah.
And in that world, the value of other things kind of goes up. So being in cities like New York, being closer to the financial scene, being in places where you get inspiration from different sources, and not only being around other builders tends to like matter more. I'm curious if you've seen that in practice, or if you start to see like people more empowered to create things outside of those core hubs.
Yeah, I think I think the core hubs. I think what it is like you kind of learn taste
Yeah.
a little bit by being in these core hubs,
Mm-hmm.
and the taste that emanates from these places goes out elsewhere. So I think if what's more important, if like the AI is doing a lot of the work for you, but then the taste actually matters
For sure.
a lot. So maybe that's some element of it.
Yeah.
But I do think people can build apps anywhere now.
Yeah.
We always heard, like, throughout the time that I've been in the world of tech, we've heard, like, there's something that's going to make it cheaper to build a company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, first there was, like, containerization, like AWS. There's so many things along the way that people were like, oh, it's going to get cheaper. And then it never got cheaper. Like, the size of a seed round has never gone down.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if that does happen now. I think probably people will just be building more and
Yeah.
executing more with the same stuff.
Makes sense.
Because your competition, it's
Yeah.
also easy for them.
Exactly. It just like lowers the barrier, but also makes everyone equally better. and
Exactly.
faster. I'm curious on the taste piece. Like, what are some of your inspirations? Like things that you look at, even like outside of tech, day to day, that might kind of feed into your work or how you think about the world.
I think I really like economics,
Mm-hmm.
and so I read Marginal Revolution, the blog. I think that so Tyler Cowen and Alex have had some impact on me there. Beyond that, I'd say I'm a little all over the place. Hacker News,
Yeah.
and then I do spend probably too much time on Twitter.
Yeah.
So whatever's in my feed, I do look through. And then I spend time with the team and love just like hanging out with the team, learning what they're about and my friends.
Nice. Awesome.
So it finished off. It's going to have a new voice model.
Sweet.
I just queued in a route from Katz's Deli down to the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
Chose again, show me what's interesting. Sweet. Got a little mapped out route. The narration. So here's where it comes into play. I guess we have to go choose. Oh, it's showing some celebrity voices. It probably hallucinated these. I wonder if they'll even work. So I guess it just like hallucinated some celebs, or maybe it was like in the initial test run. But we'll give it a shot. Let's see if it does LMM.
The LLM doing LMM.
Yes.
Then that 11 stops seems like a good number. Seems like the right number for.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's choosing where we're starting, like geographically. Actually, oh well, we actually chose.
We chose Katz's, so it's
Deli,
fair.
so
Yeah.
Lower East Side. It picked a bunch of random hotels as well, but not random. I shouldn't say random. Some of them are iconic, but not restaurants and stuff. I know you mentioned last time.
But it did do in LMM style.
Oh, really?
Like, we're about to embark on a lyrical journey through time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's probably
interesting.
right.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff with AI coding, I guess it will
Like,
add its
the
own
rebel
flavor.
spirit and the heartbeat,
Yeah.
vibrancy. I feel like that's probably
Okay.
taking inspiration from right.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't prompt it to do that, but it's really
Welcome to Alphabet City, the heart of the Lower East Side, where the streets hum with history and the walls resonate with the echoes of legends. A neighborhood that thrives on reinvention, where every corner tells a story and every story is a song. So lace up your sneakers because we're about to embark on a lyrical journey through time and space.
awesome. Okay.
Pretty good.
That was solid.
I think for purposes, since I like had the voice there, we'll just hide the names and just say like swap out the celebrity names. For
Yeah.
And then we'll go back and give it one more go. Sweet. Before I queue it up, let's see. Swap out all the celebrity names.
While we're swapping the names, we should also think of a name for the app. Did you have?
Ooh, yeah.
We need something.
Let's get some inspiration from ChatGPT.
Okay, let's do it.
Awesome. Maybe I should pause. I should emphasize this is just like a front end change.
Oh yeah.
This is strictly a front end change. Most of the logic in terms of voice IDs and the logic for how you actually generate the script and everything in between does not matter. This is simply just down to the front end code.
All right, we got some ideas here.
Wander.
Wander, soundscape, Strolly.
Strolly.
Not bad. Lowcast, like location and podcast.
Huh.
City Whisper. Lowcast is pretty cool. Depends. There's like a lot of these like functional names, and then there's the more like random one word fun names.
Lowcast. Actually, not bad. Strolly is kind of cool. What do you think?
What are you thinking?
What domain is available?
That's a good question. Yeah. Ask it.
Yeah. Is Lowcast.
On branding, how important do you think, are you an investor that likes to vet on how well a founder's taste is on brand, naming, their hustle to be able to find domains. I know some people say like, oh wow, if they have a 1-letter domain or 3-letter domain, then
short domain.
I'm writing a check.
No, I think those things can be figured out afterwards, and I definitely don't want them to spend like millions of dollars on the domain, when they only have a few $1 million. Like I usually don't think that's a great idea. But I do think it's important, and I think for some businesses it's more important than others. But you'll note that Zoom didn't even have Zoom.com until after it was super popular, and many other famous companies didn't either. So I think it just depends on the company. If you want to build trust, like we have a company in our portfolio called Agree, and it's agree.com. It's a e-signature product. So like if somebody's like, don't use DocuSign, use something else, and it's like the original domain was agree.xyz. That was like at the very initial. You'd be like, I'm not signing this agree.xyz, but they have agree.com. That makes it more compelling.
.com. Yeah, Locast.com is taken.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we got .ai.
Locast.ai. Okay,
That's pretty good.
That works.
.nyc. I've been like on that .nyc train because I like a lot of these personalized, localized experiences. But
I think this is
obviously
something more broad
around the world. .ai is pretty cool.
Yeah, Locast.ai. I think that's great.
You can grab that.
So
should we try?
We should do a rerun with the censored names.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you gonna say about that?
Well, should we try a different location? Should we do like San Francisco?
Oh, sure.
try it.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
To see if it's not just only trained on East Village.
Yeah. It'll still say welcome to
Alphabet
City.
Alphabet City.
And then suddenly we teleport to Golden Gate Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's rerun it.
Oh, you called it Urban Walker?
I think it just came up with that name.
It came up with that?
Yeah, that's
pretty good.
self-select by the
It
AI.
comes up with a name based on the.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's probably like because it is urban and it.
Yeah, while he's loading that up, I had another idea which I was thinking about. Oh, actually,
Starting
it. Let's
location
do
for
an
San
SF.
Francisco.
Let's do Dolores Park to
Yeah.
Duboce Park,
and
and then Duboce
OCE.
Park.
All right. Restaurants, shops.
Let's do interesting.
Interesting. Show me what's interesting. We still got to clean up that UI.
we could just cut the other ones. Just do the interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably because if you're walking, that's probably
Yeah.
always what you want.
Yeah, just the default. Make it easy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's hide this real quick. Oh, so it did. Oh, the color is a little blended in with
I see
the
it, yeah.
restaurant, but it kind of goes in this direction. So it mapped out. Let me zoom back out. Mapped out from point 1. Does that look about right?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. And then let's go ahead and generate with British AI.
I guess we should probably make it not need to generate, right?
Oh, like
It
automatically.
should just do it
every time.
automatically
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't
Like
need
that-
to.
Click the
because you're
button.
going to do it
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time you put in 2 locations.
Cool.
Yeah, auto generate the script and.
Welcome to Alphabet City.
And here we are again.
Well, it still says Alphabet City at the top. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I think it's pulling our current and then pulling the
Oh, I see.
the path. But
I see.
That's fine.
you want to play it?
Sure thing.
It's fun to hear it.
Welcome to Alphabet City, a vibrant tapestry of history, culture, and innovation nestled within the heart of San Francisco. As we embark on this journey, you'll find yourself weaving through streets echoing with stories from the past and present. From lush parks and charming boutique hotels to iconic eateries and renowned medical pioneers, this area offers a unique glimpse into the diverse fabric of the city. Our adventure begins at the illustrious Mission Dolores Park, a true historic gem. Once a Jewish cemetery, this site has transformed over the years into a vibrant community hub.
Cool.
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 That's good. Every time I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's done a good job. We should run it through another LLM to fact check it and
Yeah.
make sure it's telling
Yeah,
you the truth.
yeah, true.
Yeah. Wait, as you're probably more native to San Francisco than any of us, or spent most of your time, more time living there than us combined. But were any of those facts
No, it
fake
seemed-
news, or
no,
do
it
you
all
think it's on point?
It seemed correct.
Awesome. Cool. All right. There we go. Let's go ahead and should we?
You can add the name, the branding, and
Oh yeah,
styling.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, just bring it home with touching up the UI.
Let's do it.
Then we'll walk home with it.
You can tell it's like auto-generate as well.
That's
Yeah,
right.
tell
Let's do one more back-end like business logic. Okay.
And say like
on this button that requires us to press generate narration, as soon as we have the landmark route mapped out, it should automatically queue up the transcription and the generation of the audio track after we've entered the route that we are going to take. So we shouldn't have to click the button to generate the transcript and the audio. It should just load in after the route is placed. Cool. Awesome. There we go. We'll initialize it. All right, so while it's loading, I wanted to ask like a question about generally your approach to saying yes to things and how it's sort of become a brand of yours to just like have so many adventures under your belt. What's been your philosophy? Was there any key experience that made you lean into saying yes to big, ambitious things, anywhere from going from the indie core when you were fresh out of college to saying yes to being married in the metaverse? Was there a key moment in your life where you realized saying yes to things and being adventurous is like an advantage in life, if it has been an advantage?
I think it has been an advantage, but I don't think I'm not doing it for that reason. Like, I think also on Twitter, like being on Twitter or whatever is also an advantage, but that's not why I started doing it. I think I've just always liked learning more, and part of learning is having these experiences. And that part of that, it can be good or bad. Like, I'm probably overall more novelty seeking, like want to try something new. Like, actually for this my time in New York City, I have not repeated a meal. This is actually the first time. Scar's Pizza. It's the second time I've had Scar's Pizza. So
it's a special occasion.
It's a special occasion, yeah, with you guys.
Yeah.
Stop where it slices.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, might as well try something new. I'd always rather go to a new country than go to one I've been before. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just how I've always been. So, and I think saying yes has led to a lot of great things. And one of them is just like, the larger your surface area is, the more you know people, and those people can be your friends. They can, if you need something, they can assist you, all sorts of stuff. So I think like having a large surface area is good for me. It's not good for everybody, but for me it is.
Yeah. And, it's no hidden reality that the internet is one of the best ways to kind of increase the surface area.
Totally.
One of the key moments where you kind of had that experience was back in the pandemic. There was something called the Zoom Bachelor,
yes.
Show you participated in. But I don't want to talk about the Zoom Bachelor experience. I want to talk about an experience that came as a result of it, which was someone or might have noticed you as like a fan favorite, and that led to you being on a music video with Ariana Grande's music videos. Could you tell me about how you became discovered to be part of a music video?
Yeah, so I guess, so I was in the Zoom Bachelor, which led to a couple things. One, it led to me being in this music video with Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, which the video is called Stuck With You. And it was like in the pandemic about being stuck with your one person. And the person who saw the Zoom Bachelor, actually I think it was the Zoom Bachelorette before the Zoom Bachelor that he saw. It was Scooter Braun, who was the manager for Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande. And he was like making this video, and we were on Clubhouse, which was a audio app at the time. And after the show, like, I was in there asking or answering questions for people, and Scooter Braun was one of those people who had seen it, and the idea came up that he should put me in the music video he was making for that week. And so he asked me to record something. I sent it to him. I had no idea. Like, I never heard anything from him after that. But then the video came out like the next week, and I'm in it, and it's kind of a funny little scene. It's only for like 2 or 3 seconds, but very visibly, obviously me. Like a bunch of people when it came out, a bunch of people who I hadn't heard from in years were like, "Hey, I think I saw you in this video." So that was kind of fun. So that was the first thing that came out of it, and then the second thing is I met my wife, so not from being on the show, she wasn't on the show, but somebody who was watching the show was like, "Hey, can I set you up with my friend?" And now I'm married.
That's
so
amazing.
It's pretty good outcomes. One much better than the other. But
you never know what'll come out of these like random things.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing, right?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is a sign to just hit post.
Yeah, I just got to send it, post it, get it out there.
Awesome.
Exactly.
All right. Before we dive into the nice UI upgrades, what's the last route we should try out to see if this automatic loading worked?
Ooh, yeah. Should we do another city, or should we? Let's stick with San Francisco. Let's do Coit Tower to Transamerica Pyramid.
Let's do it. Show me what's interesting. And let's see if we get an automatic narration. Oh,
Yeah.
so it does
Looks
give us
like
a little loading. We'll see if it...
Loads a bit longer, but get the result right away.
Yeah, you get the text right away, or the first text right away. I wonder what it's doing beyond that, because it's done the routing and.
So it's made the script now, and then it'll make the voice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could save your route and then send it to your friends. You don't need to generate it every time.
Yeah.
Also, then you could just like have a library.
Let's save tokens also.
Yeah, save money, save the trees.
Welcome to Alphabet
Save your time.
Welcome to Alphabet City.
Yeah.
There we go.
Neighborhood nestled within the eclectic tapestry of San Francisco. Known for its rich cultural diversity and dynamic history, this area offers a unique blend of culinary delights, architectural marvels, and stories from the past. Today, we'll embark on a journey through some of its most intriguing landmarks, each offering a glimpse into the fabric of this lively community. Our journey begins with a taste of Persia at Maikade, located in the heart of North Beach. This charming restaurant is a beacon of authenticity, serving up traditional Persian cuisine that transports you straight to the bustling streets of Tehran. As you savor the aromas of kebabs and the distinctive herbs of gourmet sabzi, it's worth noting that Maikade is a beloved fixture among locals. And
Have you been there?
I have not. I need to go. It sounds like I gotta go. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so I think we've got ourselves a narrator, hit or miss.
Yeah.
We'll have to go and try these routes to make sure it's
Yeah.
not feeding us lies, but I think it's pretty spot on in terms of the places it named here. Sweet. Main UI that we should upgrade. What do y'all think? The buttons.
I think the buttons. Yeah, we can upgrade the buttons. We could make the map routing actually route through the.
Okay,
I think that's probably one we should do.
that's spot on. Probably shouldn't have refreshed. Let me map out another one real quick, and then so I can give it the screenshot to reference like where it's getting things wrong. And I've just been referring to Katz's Deli because it's the first sign.
We should fix it so it doesn't use your
East
location.
Village, yeah.
Oh,
So it
that's
doesn't say
right.
"Welcome to Alphabet City."
That's right. That one might be a little trickier. That one
Okay.
will throw it off.
Okay.
Because it's using Google. Yeah. Let's start with the
Routing.
Yeah, the routing I think will be good.
So
for
route through the numbers, basically.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do the Highline, or rather, we'll do Soho, just general NYC. Great route. So while it's still loading again, kind of on the theme of like testing and just like putting yourself out there. Just general life principles. That seems to be one of yours.
Yeah.
What's like a long-held belief that you've had for a while that you've recently changed your mind about?
Maybe something about New York. I think being here for these last 2+ months, I always liked New York, but I think I've liked it even more. And I think I've thought about it as a viable place to live, which I didn't before. So yeah, I think that. And then I'd say like part of that with New York is realizing how great it is because of the public transportation and the fact that people are able to, like, services actually aren't that expensive here. Like, if you're hiring like a cleaner or a chef or something, it's actually not that expensive compared to San Francisco, which is more expensive. And I think it's because San Francisco hasn't built housing and doesn't have great public transportation. So while I always thought public transportation was great, I've like really solidly reaffirmed that after living in New York.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the other great thing about public transit is it lets everyone kind of come into the city,
Yeah,
right? It brings
exactly.
so many different types of people
Totally.
into one place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's one thing I love about New York, is that you can have like all walks of life and
Yeah.
that diversity, which in places, I mean, especially in the tech ecosystem, it's so easy to get caught at like the edge of a bubble and just like be
Totally.
so deep in it. But New York pulls you out of it. Like being on the subway, it's one of the most
Yeah.
humbling experiences, just
It's
looking
great.
around and being like, hey, we're all in this together,
Yeah.
doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I always love that
Yeah, me too.
piece of it. Now you can track them on Locast.
Yeah, that's almost
Locast.
like how I want to feel. I know you said, looking at the app, like you wouldn't put restaurants, but sometimes like some streets are so packed and dense with different restaurants and places you could just walk into.
Yeah.
That it's almost like I just want someone to read me which restaurants I'm passing by right now.
Totally.
And like,
I'm super into that, actually. My wife gets annoyed at me because I'm always like just seeing a restaurant being like, oh, I want to just go, like, she's like, we already ate, but I know, I just want to like go look at the menu.
yeah.
And I really get joy out of that, checking
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, we could add a feature, maybe not today, but after, where we let people crowdsource stories.
Oh, yeah.
So you could like upload your own story on a certain
Yeah, I
thing
love
on
that.
the map, and like the AI could pull it in and
That'd be
and
really
tell
cool.
people about it, like a local shop owner or something.
Totally.
Whose info is not publicized or out there in the LLM training.
Yeah.
But it could still show up in your local story. That'd be pretty
Totally.
sweet.
There's a place not too far from here I saw where it's a shop that sells rubber stamps. Have you seen this place?
I haven't seen that place.
It's
Rubber
pretty
Saw it
close.
on Morning Brew.
Oh, you saw it on Morning
Yeah,
Brew?
they had a story about it.
Oh, cool.
I'll send you the video after this. Yeah.
Cool. I was just walking by and I was like, how does this exist? And I went in and I talked to the guy. He's been there. You probably know the story better than I do, but he's been there for a very long time, and he's just hand making all these stamps. Like you could get a custom stamp for anything except for drugs, I think he said. Like, he said, like, I won't do any
That's the
stamps for
only thing.
drugs. And like there are very few people still making these stamps. So like all of the stuff that he needs to buy also is not really being made anymore. But that's a cool story that, like, if you were walking by and it was in this app, you could hear him talk about that for a minute. You'd be like compelled to go in and like buy something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty popular video. I think if the AI does like the search, it'll probably pull in that story as well and probably like quote it. Some
Cool.
aspects. I think the show is literally How Does This Place Exist? It was like a show.
That's
under
amazing.
Morning
Is that what I said? How does it
Brew.
exist?
Yeah. It's like how does this place exist? And
Or there's have you guys been to Ray's Candy Store?
Yeah.
That
I
place
passed by it. Yeah.
Oh, that place is great.
Yeah.
And that guy also, he's been there for like 60, 70 years or
Yeah.
something like that. 60 years, I think, yeah.
Amazing.
All right. Let's knock out two birds with one stone. I'm just gonna queue up the buttons improvement as well. Let's make the buttons background of, let's say, any color in particular that you like. Maybe the orange for like the background of these.
Yeah, sure. Let's go orange.
Cool. Can you make sure the background color of the category buttons is a little bit more visible? Make it the accent orange that we're using for other buttons as well when we select a category. And then we'll just attach our little screenshot. Throw it in there. And make sure to select one. I'll probably better select it. So obviously AI is all the hype right now, but I'm curious, as someone who's been, very prominent in fintech, how do you allow that to change your thesis or not change it based on noise in the marketplace versus like what's actually like adding value? I'm just curious on like your approach of like, of investing in AI, or how do you look at investments newly with the lens of both the fintech lens that you have experience in, and that's what you've established your brand on, and then also like the changing market dynamics of like the new tech that we have?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to get excited by AI, as I'm sure you guys are. So I find myself definitely getting very excited, but also trying to think from first principles and not like just FOMOing into everything, which I think, some people do. I think I like to think about it, everything from the end user and like, is it solving an end user problem? And is there something defensible here that can allow somebody to build a big business? I think like that's how I think about things. And there are a lot of times where you see a lot of folks going after the same idea. And I think our team is awesome and actually like keeps us all sane and keeps us from going into ideas that are super crowded. And I think it's starting from that, like, what does the end user want? And if we build something for that end user, can we build a successful company?
Gotcha. What do you think has opened up? Have you seen any companies in your portfolio see renewed growth, or like basically a new market that wouldn't have exist pre-AI?
Yeah, I think a lot of these companies are building sort of like services as software rather than software as a service. And AI is enabling so much for them. But then there's also like non-AI companies that are seeing just tremendous growth from AI. So one example is we have a company called Duck.co. They let you turn any user permissioned data into an API. So think about like Plaid, but for other stuff. And other stuff is like utility data or automotive data, like log into your car, or music. Like one of their end customers is a company that handles music royalties. So they can log in on behalf of that user and basically send it back as an API. And so it's not an AI company, but they've seen their ability to add on a new service is 70 times faster because of AI than it was before.
Wow.
And so you're just seeing these like crazy leaps that are incredible.
Yeah, when you're talking about kind of that example of packaging up the data as an API and then talking about end users, I'm curious if you've seen situations where the end user is an AI and like building tools for agents and things like that's a whole new segment of the market as well, right?
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of new sort of like headless products being built. And we haven't seen that much in fintech yet.
Okay.
One area where we got a lot of pitches but didn't invest is sort of like headless payments.
Right.
Now, and we didn't invest because we figured like obviously Stripe is working on this.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, soon we're gonna have little robots with wallets and just
exactly. They'll be spending all our money. No, I mean I think it's fairly easy because it's like it's user permission. So like if I get a push notification, like do you approve this purchase? Like that, it's fairly easy solvable. I think.
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years or maybe a few months we could come back and add something that books part of the route for you.
Yeah,
totally. That'd be cool.
Awesome. So it added a little bit more color, but I think we could bring it home, maybe get it hosted so that we can use it on the way home if it looks good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Locast.ai. We have it?
Right now.
We can definitely get the subdomain to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just use subdomain for now.
All right. So final route that we should run it through. What do you think?
Let's go on the west side. Let's go Chelsea Market to what's the park? Stonewall? Is that the that like?
I don't know where Stonewall.
Whenever I think west side, I think the High Line.
Oh yeah. Oh that. Yeah,
Well, the High Line's like kind of long, so you'd have to say where.
Oh, it usually. I think because it's using a Google Maps, it starts at one of the entrances. It's always the same entrance somewhere, but who knows where?
Yeah,
it might pick something with.
Or you
no
could
stops.
do like Hudson Yards or something.
Yeah, Hudson Yards.
Okay, we'll do Hudson.
Might take you through the High Line.
Yeah,
Hudson Yards. We'll say mall.
Yeah.
Kind of central. New York City. We'll leave it at show me what's interesting, a little bit more prominent. Create route.
Okay, I found this on the web for show me what's interesting.
Not that AI.
Wrong AI. Yeah. I thought we had a really quick response time.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
And it got Siri's voice too. It's
Yeah,
like crazy.
Yeah, this is one of those things that feels like Apple or one of these maps tools like should build it. Like there needs to be this ecosystem of apps on top of maps that just doesn't exist today. Google Maps, Apple Maps are just...
It would be awesome for
Yeah.
lock-in. Although I have pretty strong lock-in with Google Maps because I have all my stuff saved on there,
Yeah.
and I have Find My Friends on there. Like, not Find My Friends, but location sharing with Google.
On Google Maps?
Yeah, on Google Maps.
You can see your friends?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
so
wow.
useful.
Do you use an iPhone or use
iPhone, yeah.
Android? Oh,
Huh.
I've never seen that on Google Maps.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Use find
I use Find My
Friends,
on.
yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I do it on Google Maps, and it's awesome. Because Apple Maps is actually now good, but it used to not be. So, like, here's my friend, here's my wife, like,
Oh my
here's another
God.
friend.
That's...
It's just on my
I'm
map.
going to turn this on when I get home.
Yeah, just location sharing, and then see all these people that I'm sharing with.
Wow.
There's like a lot of them.
Yeah, I have like the same thing, but through Find My. And that's the only reason that I use the whole app is just for...
Yeah,
Like
the nice thing
friends
about Google Maps
around
is
the city.
it's on your regular map.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
Which I use
useful
for navigation.
because I'll often be looking at it for something else, be like, oh my God, my friend's here.
Yeah.
That's actually really useful. Yeah, there's been a
Super
ton of times where I've like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super useful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
All right.
sometimes, like, I've run into my friends in other cities around the world
Yeah, that's happened
that I
to me
didn't
a
know.
bunch. We have it like my dad's side of the family is pretty big, a bunch of cousins.
Uh-huh.
We like literally just need an app within our family.
Yeah,
Like, what city
yeah,
are you
yeah,
in?
yeah.
My cousin was just in town and he was like, hey, are you home? And I was like, yeah, I am. But we would have missed that if we didn't have Find My and our locations together.
Yeah,
so
it's super useful.
next time on the pod, we'll have to.
Oh, it did the line tracing of the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got line tracing down, and then let's see if it'll queue up the audio. It should be loaded. Oh, I gotta turn it.
Nestled within the heart of Manhattan's East Village. Known for its vibrant culture, historic sites, and
started
an
with-
ever-evolving culinary scene, Alphabet City offers a unique blend of old-world charm and modern innovation. As we embark on this journey, prepare to be immersed in the stories and flavors that define this fascinating part of New York City. Let's begin our exploration at Chelsea Market, a bustling food and retail hub with roots dating back to the 1890s when it served as a biscuit factory for the National Biscuit Company, or Nabisco.
I didn't know that.
Perfect.
Hopefully
Awesome.
it's true.
I think that's true.
I think the last big thing was that if we had just switched the Alphabet City out,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah,
current
yeah,
The first
yeah.
paragraph is
Yeah, but it actually won't matter because when people actually use it,
Yeah,
they will
they'll
be
be-
there.
they'll be there.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
Good, yeah.
So, I mean, for the time being, we can send us on our way, and we can each have this on our phone. So let's just get this up on a URL.
Yeah, we can deploy it.
Awesome, and bring it home.
I'll buy the domain.
We'll call it the domain. What was the final spelling?
Locast?
Locast.
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 No, I think no W.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Locast. Perfect.
Sweet.
We'll deploy, and then we'll have it up and running.
Nice.
Obviously, before it goes public, we'll lock down the API keys. But yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Very cool. It was fun, guys.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
was
so
a lot
much
of
for
fun.
joining us. This was a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sheel.
Thanks, guys.
I guess before we wrap up, anything you want to say to the people, to the audience? Where can they find you? I mean, we'll have all your socials and stuff. up
Yeah,
here, but-
you could find me. Pretty easy to find at Pitt Daisy, but no, I mean, nothing in particular to say.
Okay.
This is great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Great.
Appreciate
Yeah.
your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.